In this episode of the podcast, we talk about how to approach casting if you happen to be a person who is shy. Welcome to the How to Get on Reality TV podcast with Dan Giesling, where I answer your reality TV casting questions once a week. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the How to Get on Reality TV podcast. As always, I talked through that part really quickly, and I'm really excited to be here today because my name's Dan Giesling. I kind of jumbled up the intro, but you guys get it at this point. This is episode 52, and it's pretty much the same introduction. It's not changing anytime soon except when we messed up. Anyways, we have a great question this week from Maddie, and Maddie wants to know about what to do in casting if you're shy or if you're an introvert. What's the best way to attack casting or put yourself in a position to be successful, even though you may not be what you typically see on TV. Before we get into that, I do want to give you guys a heads up about the guide that I wrote. For those of you guys that don't know, the guide that I wrote, it takes you through A to Z. It shows you what to do in your casting video, how to create your story. It has checkpoints along the way to keep you on task. It also gives you an understanding of this process, this casting process that not many people know a whole heck of a lot about. So you can check that out by going to howtogetonrealitytv.net/guide. I recommend it. A lot of people have downloaded it and read it, and it's helped people get on various shows. I think it's been a great resource for you guys that want to take it one step further beyond the podcast. So you can check that out by going to howtogetonrealitytv.net/guide. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this week's question from Maddie.
Hey Dan, my name's Maddie. I'm in Canada, and I just have a quick question for you. I know the deadlines are coming up, and I've always wondered if it's going to hold me back that I am a shy person. So in my video, I'm trying as hard as I can to be very outgoing, but still be myself, but just amp it up to another level. But I know that I am a very shy person, especially in big groups of people. So I'm just wondering if this is going to be something that holds me back, or if this is something a casting producer is going to like, because not many people that apply for Big Brother are that shy. I mean, a lot of people that they look for are very outgoing, outspoken. Now, I think I'm still a very original person, but I do have that one factor that kind of, I feel like, almost holds me back and hinders me. But I'm sure a few other people are in my same boat as well, that are just a little bit more shy. They're not always wanting to be the center of attention. So I would like to know your point of view on people that are applying for Big Brother that feel as if they're shy. Do you think that's something that the casting producers aren't going to like, or they're going to, maybe think is part of my story? I'd love to get your feedback on people that are shy, that are applying, and what we can do to, try and make it throughout the process without letting that hold us back. Okay, thanks, Dan. Bye.
All right, Maddie, well, first and foremost, thank you so much for listening, and thank you for submitting a question. So Maddie wants to know, what do you do in casting if you're shy? She feels like she's an original character, an original person, but she feels like being shy may hold her back a little bit. We'll have some good news. The good news is that being shy doesn't necessarily work against you, and based on how you approach this question and submitted this question, you don't sound shy at all. When I think of someone shy, I think of someone who's very timid and maybe quiet and not comfortable, even speaking. So I can relate to being shy. One thing you mentioned is saying that you're not comfortable in large groups of people, and this is where I would push you to take a look at being shy from a different angle. So don't pitch yourself as being shy. Pitch yourself as things other than shy. So for example, you may not like being around loud people. You may not like being around large groups of people because maybe there's someone in that group that annoys you, or you don't like being people overshadowing you. Now, all these things are elements of being shy, but you can also say some things that, because when you say shy, you think of someone that isn't that fun to watch on TV. So you just want to be very careful in how you present yourself. You can still be true to who you are in terms of maybe you're reserved in large groups, and when people aren't reserved in large groups, it makes you feel really uncomfortable because all of a sudden that's a part of your story that's going to connect with someone else, connect in an adverse way, because if you're going to go on reality TV, there's going to be people that are very loud and like to be the center of attention, which may cause an automatic conflict between you two. So that's a great way to think about it. One of the other things, contrary to what a lot of people may think, is that even if you're not comfortable in large groups of people, through the casting process, unless you're going to an open casting call, which I don't recommend, if you submit an audition video, it's you by yourself. When you go to the semifinals, it's usually, nowadays, it's usually just a one-on-one Skype call. So once again, you're by yourself. When you go on to finals, there may be a one-on-one interview or at max 1-on-5, with the executive producers of the show. And if you do well on that, so really in a 1-on-5 situation, that's not really that large of a group, and it's really just an interview type setting. And then if you make it one step further, you're in a room with maybe 10 to 12 network executives and the people that you had in the room before. So you're never really in a position throughout casting where it's like you versus a group of people, or you having to stand out in a group of people, because all the situations that you're going to be in from a shy perspective, all the attention is on you in an interview setting, not in a like dance, circus animal dance type setting. So that was kind of something that I felt pretty interesting about, because I thought it was interesting because you can be shy throughout, like internally shy throughout the process, and you can kind of fake it and push that down, which it sounds like you've been doing a great job of, but you still need to be able to explain it in your story. And I would try to extract both positives and negatives about symptoms of you being shy or actions of you being shy without necessarily saying you're shy. You may say, phrase it in a way. I would just steer clear from that word, even though it's true, because like I said, there's you'd think negative entertainment connotation with that. But I can totally relate, and I don't like this podcast to really have any reflection on my personal life. I mean, like, I don't like to talk about myself because it's about you guys, but I can really relate to you, Maddie, because I'm the same way. I don't like being in large groups of people. I don't like being the center of attention, but yet, there's always a way to get on the show, and I'm not just giving you lip service. That's how I am in my real life. And really, if I were in a situation in casting where I had to go up against 4 other people, probably not going to do that well. It's just a weird thing as it is, but lucky for you, you don't have to deal with that. Really the whole part of the casting process is just all the focus is on you, and you don't have to fight for that attention unless you go to open casting call, but you guys know how I feel about those. So I hope you can find a way, Madison, and I hope I at least pointed you in the right direction. And it was a little bit more difficult to answer this question because you didn't give a ton of personal information about things you like, how being shy has affected your life, how you've managed situations. Like if you gave me more personal information, I could give you more direct advice. But in this case, I think I pointed you in a direction to use being shy as an asset and pull, like I said, just to reiterate, pull reactions, pull things you do, pull stories that represent you being shy or things you learned from or how you've adapted to being shy without necessarily talking about being shy. So I hope this helps, Maddie. I want to thank you for not being shy and submitting a question through howtogetonrealitytv.net/ask. As a small thank you, we're going to send you a free story of my digital book, How a Normal Guy Got Cast on Reality TV. And if you want your question answered on the podcast, you can go to howtogetonrealitytv.net/ask. There's a smartphone app. You can do it from your browser. You can do it from your tablet. It's really easy to do. You can be just like Maddie, even if you're shy, and submit it through the website. Thank you guys so much for watching. And Maddie, I hope that helped answer your question. All right, so whether you're shy or not, I hope you guys got something that from that answer, that question, that helped point you guys in the right direction and get yourself in a position to be successful in casting, because depending on what show you're applying for, the clock is definitely ticking. And I hope you guys are taking action and putting yourself out there so that you're in a position to either go through casting and learn what you can get better at, or at least put yourself in a position where you're getting experience in the casting process. And if you need a little help gaining experience in the casting process, I'd encourage you to check out the guide that I wrote at howtogetonrealitytv.net/guide. It's going to put you in a position that you're ahead of other people in terms of information and knowledge, as opposed to if you were just to go into the process blind without any information, without any directed help. It's a good way to put yourself ahead of the pack and put yourself in a position to be successful right from the go by reading and taking action from what was written in the guide. So you can check that out by going to howtogetonrealitytv.net/guide. And I want to thank you guys for listening to this episode. I will see you guys next Monday. There's a lot of great questions, and don't forget to submit one. If you've got a question that's really applicable to your story and what's going on right now, make sure to do that through the website. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate you guys, and best of luck and all these casting calls coming up. Take care.